Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great Lake and got an interesting team to run today. We got the Emogla in the lead paired with the Gastrodon in the back and the Shadow Lapras. So great lead here. Let's see what they end up deciding to do. They switch out into the Clox area and we have a really good matchup for this with our own Gastrodon. We can easily tank these. It looks like we can tank another... well, we can't take another Earthquake, but we are going to be able to farm a ton of energy here. Body Slam gets used and a bait call is initiated by our opponent, so nice call by them. However, we still are going to be able to reach another move for the KO, and we still maintain alignment. We still have a ton of energy. So that allows us to get to this Earth Power. This Earth Power does go through. We don't get the debuff. They're looking to just farm a ton of energy, but it looks like we are just going to combo play when they switch out. They have the Sableye, and we have a ton of energy on our Emolga. This Emolga here is looking to grab a shield. And it looks like our opponent is going to throw the move before we get to the next discharge. So this means that we are going to, okay, we do let it go and we do survive it. And that's really key because we get to this discharge. It allows us to take out that Sableye. And now we have Lapras versus the Azu. Azu has to go for the player up. We shield the correct player up. And now we're in a really, really good spot for the win. So GG to our opponent, able to win that game basically with that bulk. All right, back again here with the team, and we're gonna see if we can continue the win streak here. We got the Emolga versus the Malamar, kind of a neutral matchup here. Both of us are just deciding whether to switch, shield, or stay in. We are going to tank the first move, and now we're going to be able to get to another move. They decide to shield it, but we are very spammy. We get to another discharge. This discharge does go through, and because they took the energy, we are going to switch out into the Gastro. Looks like we get met with a Cradily. They decided to go for the Grass Knot, and we are going to show the correct move because we can get to this Earth Power, huge damage, and it gets us the farm down. So that's really fortunate for us. We have energy to throw back at this Malamar. Let's see if they decide to shield. No shield. And that's pretty good for us because we can farm with something now. Oh, they don't allow us to farm. And they actually end up on a worse situation. This Lapras chunking away with their fast move pressure. Sludge goes through. We can survive that easily. We're going to fire off this Sparkling. This is going to get the shield or the KO. They decide to shield it up. And it looks like we are going to be able to shield this one up and then potentially oh, they actually threw in CAP, so we are going to have to use this move, take it out, and now it just comes down to a little bit of a farm down. They are going to be able to reach this move here. It ends up being the foul play, and we still have this Emolga, a little bit of health, but able to farm down for the win. Interesting team they had. Just lucky for us that we were able to switch out first to kind of bait out their grass type. Okay, we got the Drapion versus our Emolga. Drapion, as most of you know, is a pretty good safe swap. So kind of interesting to see it in the lead here. They get their wish and we actually switch out. We tank the crunch. And we get debuffed, unfortunately, and we get met with one of the worst situations for a Lapras. No moves from the charge moves typically are going to be effective towards this Jellicent. The only real damage we're really doing is our Psy Waves. So getting this into the red is as good as it's going to get. We go into the Emolga now. The Emolga looking for a farm down. Ooh, Shadow Ball actually hurts a lot. They combo play into their Drapion, so we just gotta let this go. And now we're looking for the farm down, and we're gonna try to win this game with 2 shield Gastro. They decide to go for a crunch here. Do we avoid the debuff? Yes, we do. So we get the farm down. And we see a Feraligatr. So double water in the back. Very, very spamming team. And we do get the first shield. Okay, maybe if we get the second shield here, we might have a chance. Okay, we get the second shield. They're forced to use energy here. We have 2 shields to hide behind. Let's see if they try to switch out unnecessarily. And they do decide to switch out unnecessarily. And we are going to be able to reach Earth Power. But they decide to GG's quit. So well played by us. They gave us the win condition, switching out and giving us the opportunity to farm down. And we somehow pulled it off. Ooh, another Drapion lead here. Let's see what happens this time. Obviously, they can have anything in the back at this point. Drapion leads generally try to win the lead. We are going to shield. Our opponent does get the debuff, unfortunately, so we're going to try to switch out. Maybe catch an Aquatail. Okay, beautiful. We do catch an Aquatail, and looks like they're going to be able to reach this crunch here. We have to tank it. We do survive it. We avoid the debuff, and we see the Feraligatr. Is this the same team that we just saw? We're going to go for this Skull Bash here. Huge Skull Bash goes through. Unfortunately, unable to farm down, but they're going to be able to take us out. Now we got to decide what we think is in the back. We're going to farm with our Emogla and hope for the best. We get to a Discharger before they get to their move. Our opponent decides to shield, and we do have another Discharge ready, so they are going to have to reveal their backline. Ends up being the Azu, and that's perfect for the Emogla. So GG's to our opponent. Able to sniff out that team, kind of. We had a feeling it was double water. Azu and the Drapion core, very, very popular. Okay, good lead here. Let's see what happens. Looks like they're going to be able to reach this Icy Wind. We're going to stick it out and basically try to force them to switch out. Our opponent decides to throw another Icy Wind. And we're just going to force them to make a decision. Are they going to switch out, or are they just going to sack this Drifloon? Drifloon does decide to double shield. And we're just going to fire off this Discharge again. Doesn't quite KO, and that's going to allow them to get to another Icy Wind. And that takes out our Emogla. So we're going to see if we can win this game with the Lapras. And unfortunately, we run into one of the worst situations. This is going to be very brutal for this Gastro. Unable to get to this move here. They're going to be able to take us out easily. Looks like we needed to take out that Drifloon, and unfortunately, unable to. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.